Uh, Good evening, guys. Thank you for joining for today's discussion. Let me share the agenda with you guys real quick. Uh, I hope my screen is visible to you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the agenda for today's discussion. We will first be discussing about the purpose of the discussion, that why we have started this discussion, and what all the action plans that you guys will be suggesting, and there are some point that I had in mind. And then after that, we will be discussing some of the expectation of the customer when he buys online and versus while he buys offline. So the main purpose that I was thinking of starting this discussion was that we need to understand the expectation of customer when he buys online. By this I means that when a customer place an order online, there are some insecurity in his mind that whether his order will be delivered on time or not, whether the quality of the object will be right or not, and whether the object will even be delivered or not, and what all are the expectations other than this, like if the delivery is delayed and the payment of the order. So these are what I meant by the expectation of the customer when he buys online. And so these are all the points that I think that needs discussion for business to understand the marketplace better. Other thing that I think was thinking of discussing was that how we can improve this experience of the customer when he buys online. Uh, so the main point that comes to my mind is that we should be communicating more efficiently with the customer throughout the life cycle process, order life cycle. So we first need to discuss that what all are the events that uh, we need to communicate to the customer. For example, just an example, like when the order is placed successfully. So we need to confirm that his order has been placed. Maybe there can be a payment issue that order is placed, but the payment is not yet captured or authorized. So these are all the points that I think we need to discuss so that we can better understand that what all other events, life cycle events that we can communicate with the customer. So I think we first need to discuss that what all are the life cycles and prepare an action plan for that. And we will carry on that action plan forward and discuss them. So uh, do you guys have any uh, suggestion in mind that how we can communicate?
uh, Thank you, Arpit, for starting this conversation here. Uh, I believe the point that you have put up in your email and point that you've laid out in the introduction of this conversation is rightly abrupt. I think it's correct. And the way you have entered the information is good. But the only change I would prefer is that I think we need to first discuss what is, like you said, written here, the order life cycle. So, what is an actually the order, the life cycle of an order, right from the process, right from the start point where the customer places the order on an e-commerce website, and right to the time where the item is delivered to his home or in person, doesn't matter. So the process is complete right from the start and to end. If we understand this particular life cycle, specifically with respect to uh, the points where we'll be communicating with the customer, specifically like you said, that efficient communication is very important. So we need to identify those points, that this is the point when we should be doing a communication with the customer. So if we laid out that point, I think that will be a good start for this conversation. After that, we can discuss like what are the other expectations when it comes to uh, customer buying from online versus offline. What are the different communication? That would be something I think that would give us an idea of how e-commerce life cycle works, and then we can easily compare it with the offline. So this is the only point that I wanted to make here, that I think we should go first with the order life cycle, and then comes to offline versus offline, because that would give us an complete idea of how online works, so we can compare it easily with offline, because offline is we've been doing from so long that I don't think we need to discuss the offline life cycle because it's really short. So that's one point from me. What you guys think, please?
Yeah, in my opinion, I think we should start with the online and offline.
Okay.
Yeah, because these are just a channel, but a customer is interacting with a brand. So we have to keep in mind that these are not a different uh, things that customer is communicating or interacting with the brand. So brand need to understand that these are just a channel,
Okay.
and the customer is interacting with a brand only. It's they are not interacting with the online guy or the offline guy. They are, if I take an example of Levi's, so customer is interacting with Levi's. He's not thinking that I'm going to a store so I will get a different experience, or online I will get a different experience. He is expecting a seamless experience across the channels.
Yes, agreed.
Yes. So we need to understand that why there is a need to improve the customer experience, and how the brand can imagine that yes, they need to increase the customer experience.
Okay.
So we have to talk about it, that yes, here you are in the customer experience and you have to reach to that level. So what are the major, what are the KPIs they need to think that yes, these are the things we should think that we should improve in these areas so that we can improve the customer experience. Because in the market there is highly competition, and if you don't give a good customer experience, then the customer may go to the other brand, to their competitor.
Okay.
So how we can retain the customer retention is very important. So what are the things we can do to retain the old customers and to acquire the new customer? So customer acquisition and the retention is the most important thing that brand should focus on.
Yes.
So we should start on these things, on the high level things, then we can think that yes, what are the order life cycles, and the communication is very important in the order life cycle events
Yes.
which we have mentioned. Because when customer places an order, he don't know that where my order is, what is the status of my order, and when it will be delivered. So he or she should get the proper communication or the updates of his
Yeah.
order, so that he is well connected with the brand, and he also get the good experience by
Yeah.
this, if he get
Yeah.
the proper communication and the updates from the order brand.
It's it and it I think you what you said is correct, because it's not just the simple e-commerce order. If you say like
Yes.
some high end electronics items, they you see kind of a pre-orders you already place for some items, like there's a new phone is coming, and you can place and pre-order. So specifically when we talk about pre-orders, then it's an entirely even more important, because he's not even aware, is he going to be delivered that product or not, on what date. He doesn't even know that, because he is doing a pre-order. Maybe that item is not even, the seller doesn't have even that item yet in his warehouse available with him. So that at that time I think communication become even more important. So yes, I completely agree with what Avnindra has said here.
Yes, and one more thing, that if we see the market trend, though, so it is changing very fast. So if we talk about post COVID, so digital experience, digital commerce have gone very fast in a up direction. So
Yeah.
we need to think that these are some things which are going on in the market, and how the brand can meet that expectations. So brand need to take care of that also.
Yeah.
So these are the things which we can put in this discussion also. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we can formalize the points, and then we can start the discussions that yes, these are the points we should discuss.
Uh, yes, guys, I completely agree with you both that we should first be discussing the offline and online channels, that how we can improve the experience. Avnindra, were you talking about the omni-channel perspectives? Like the
Yeah,
customer is
actually,
buying from the brand.
it's never buy online versus buy offline.
Yeah,
How we can overall increase the customer experience irrespective of the channel.
Yes.
yeah,
We should give the seamless experience across the channel. So how brand can achieve that?
yeah,
It's never be buy online versus buy offline. They are the things, the positive and the negative things of around the online and offline. These are some different topics, but for a brand, it's a single channel, we should say,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
they are a customer interacting with a brand, not with a channel. That yes, they are also expecting that irrespective of the channel, they will get the good experience, the similar experience. They are expecting that only.
Yes, yes.
See, I will take a single example. If a customer see anything online, if we take an example of a shirt, he see a shirt online and then he visit to a store, and then he tell to the store assistant that I saw this t-shirt or shirt online, so I want that shirt. Is it available? He will say no. There are fair chances he will say no. If it is in a stock or the fresh collection, there might be a chances that he will say that yeah, it's there. So if we say no, then there is a fair chance that they are losing a customer.
Yes.
So the store assistant should be equipped digitally, or he should have some digital equipment so that he can treat the customer that yes, sir, can you see show me the barcode if you have the product code or anything, or the image of the product. If you can show, then I will check the inventory, the near store which is available, where the store product is available, and I will place an order from this store, and I will make sure that it will be delivered to you by these many days, or you can collect from this store by after these many days.
Yeah.
So in this case, you are not losing a customer. So
Yes.
brand need to think that they need to intermix the online and offline. They
Okay.
should not treat by online versus by offline.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are some inputs from my side.
Yeah, Avnindra. I completely agree with you that the brand should be able to provide a seamless experience to the customer when he buys online and when he buys offline. And if something is not available when he visits an offline store, retail store, uh, he should be able to see the inventory in other stores or able to place the order from other stores to be delivered to the customer, or make sure that the product is available in his store after a few days. So yeah, I think this is a completely valid point and we should discuss this further.
Yeah, actually, I put so many points, but we have to think and we have to formalize the points that what are the priority points, and first what we should discuss, then second, then third. We have to set the sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is why I recommended that we should start with order life cycle. The reason for that was that we said we'll be discussing offline versus online versus offline as first point, right? So I said the offline experience is being something that we've been doing from the past 50 to 100
Hmm.
years, because shopping is a part of our lives right from the start, right? But buying something online is a different thing for many people, like people who are maybe like 40s and 50s. They don't go, they are not that tech savvy. But when it comes to them, they don't know that much about. But if I say that I'm going to uh, compare how a customer is experience, what should be his expectation, what are its expectation when it comes to online orders, then I think I should understand what is the life cycle of an order in on online. Because on offline, it's something I go to a store, I saw a product, I paid the money. Like say, if I say, if you're talking about a shirt, I went to a store, I saw a product, I tried it, it works, it looks good. I paid the money, I paid for the item. The store associate parcel that item to a polybag and give it to me. So I went back home. This is the complete part. But when it comes to online, and if we are talking about really technical stuff, then how is an auction is actually right from placing an order, then started the fulfillment, then delivering that item to the customer. So this is how I saw that. I think we should understand that, and then in that way we can understand, okay, this is how an order is treated online when it comes to an order life cycle. Now we can compare it with the offline, and that in that sense we can compare that what are the customer expectation when it comes to online versus offline. That was the only point that I wanted to make here. Otherwise, I'm fine with the way we are going to discuss this communication here. Pritam, what do you think about that? I think we all are here, so let's conclude this, that how we are going to start. we'll have some more voting or opinion on this.
Yeah, so I feel the same. Like we should start with the order life cycles in both the scenarios, like for online and offline. And ultimately, what happens is like if we consider the deliveries of the item, uh, right? What is the scenario in current market is like online and offline are merging together for the delivery purpose. Like stores are becoming the fulfillment centers right now,
Yeah.
so we can merge that too. So we can clearly understand the difference between how the order is fulfilled from the online process as well as the brick and mortar store. So I think yes, we can start with the actual processes involved in the online versus offline, and then we can move forward on how we can improve the customer experience by merging these two delivery platforms or channels.
Okay.
Yeah, so I also think that first we should discuss the order life cycle, and then we should go for the merging part. I think we can discuss the order life cycle in our next episode.
Uh,
So whereby we will be listing out what all the other life cycle events where we need to communicate with the customer and how frequently we should communicate. Like there are chances that we will be communicating every small steps to the
yes.
customer, and it might become frustrating for him that okay, this is too many emails, like spamming the customer. So yeah, we should
Yes,
also.
and that experience actually depends on what country or which continent you are in, because the customer expectation when it comes to a US customer and then coming to an India is totally different. And there are some things that are pretty much different when it comes to like payment and delivery, and like you said, emails and messages and spamming of communications. Right? This is something which is actually dependent on what country the business is doing, but still there are some pretty much standards things that we need to be understand before we can say that yes, we can improve this kind of experience. To agree.
Okay, so I think from in our next call we will be discussing more about the life cycle after the customer has placed the order, and we'll list out few points that where we need to communicate with the customer and how frequently we should communicate. And after that, we can discuss more strategies like the Avnindra mentioned, that if the user visits the store and it is not available there, he can scan the barcode. So then we can discuss those points as well. The omni-channel perspective and buy online and pick up in store is also there. And returns, then we can talk about returns as well. That if the customer doesn't like the product and he wants to return it, so we can include that in life cycle as well, in my opinion, because many a times that customer buys, maybe he doesn't like the product or maybe the size is not fit, that so returning is also a part of that process. So
Yeah.
what do you think about the returning part of that? Should we include it in the life cycle as well of the?
Yeah, I think that could be something a part of that. It should be there because that is also a part of life cycle, that an order is in place and then it was cancelled or it was returned or it was exchanged. Doesn't some businesses do return, some businesses do exchange. So we can definitely include this. So this is what I feel.
Yeah, so what we should be doing, we should be discussing it as a part of a life cycle for the order, or we should include it as a separate event. We should discuss it separately.
I think
What do you
we can say that right from the start of the order, like say okay, it can be a branch to branch point. At one point, the life cycle will be the same, and from that point there will be two separate tree. You can say branches will go. One will go to the complete part, and one will go to the refund or return part. Right. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can discuss in the same way, but in two separate branches.
yeah. So yeah, this is from my side actually. Do anyone want to add something to this?
I'm good.
Okay, so thank you guys. In the next episode, we will be discussing about the order life cycle and the events where we can communicate with the customers. And after listing out those, we will be discussing more about how we can improve the experience of the customer. And in the
Sure.
last, we will be picking about the strategies of the customer journey, which Avnindra mentioned. So, okay, guys, thank you for joining in. I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye bye.
everyone. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.